Let's go through an example setup for internet access in rural locations using LTE. If you are in a poor connectivity situation and you need a high dBi device to access the internet, then most likely the throughput available to you is not going to be very high. So you do not need the most high-end device. And a very cost-effective device like the LHG LTE6 kit is going to suit you just fine. The downside of this is that it only has one Ethernet connection. Of course, you could plug it into a switch and provide internet access to multiple devices that way. But if you're looking to do some more complex routing, set up parental controls, block certain websites, etc., then you might find that the CPU for this cheap device is not powerful enough. So if you are going to set up routing for multiple devices in your home, then you could get something like the HAP-AC², which is a very affordable device that will also serve as an access point. So the setup that we're going to do here is we will set up LTE pass-through on the LHG so that it basically is only a modem, and it passes on the IP address and the connection that it gets from your mobile operator to your home router, which then has a firewall and does any routing necessary. Now the LHG is an outdoor device that you're most likely going to have to place somewhere higher up where it gets a line of sight to your mobile operator's cellular tower. So you will need something like a pole or some other fixture where you can install it. Now before you climb on your roof and affix it somewhere, we need to find out which direction it should be pointing in the first place if we can't see our cellular tower already, and we're also going to pre-configure it to avoid having to take it back down when something is not working later. To find out where your mobile operator's cellular towers are located, we can use a free tool called cellmapper.net. On there we just need to specify our mobile provider. And then if we zoom in into any specific location, we can see the nearby towers. And furthermore, we can see the sectors that they cover. So once we have found our location in the map and we know which direction we need to point our device at, we can configure it. The LHG comes with a PoE injector. It might look a little bit different than this, but it does the exact same thing. So we're just going to plug the RJ45 into our computer and we'll provide power through the barrel jack that will get injected into this Ethernet cable so that we get power over Ethernet. Now it should show up on our Winbox neighbors with its default IP address. In my case, I'm already getting an IP address from my mobile operator, but in a rural area, of course, this might not be the case, as you might need to place it up on the pole. But the further steps are the same regardless. If you do have an internet connection already available, you want to update your LHG. First go to IPDNS and make sure you have DNS servers set up. Then execute system package update install. And once it installs, continue with the configuration. So first I'll just disable DHCP server. And then I'm going to go on interface, LTE, APN, and I will set the default APN pass-through interface as Ether1. And the configuration of the LHG is done. It's basically acting as a modem now. There's no need to set up a firewall or any other routing stuff on it. I can put it up on my fixture now. Okay, I've installed the LHG and I've run the Ethernet cable to my HAP-AC² internet port, or the WAN port in other words. So now it has the IP address that the LHG would have received from the mobile operator, and the default configuration is already distributing internet connection through all the other Ethernet ports. So I've plugged Ethernet 5 into my laptop and I can now configure my HAPAC². I can see it in my Winbox neighbors, so I can just straight up connect to it. The first thing we should do is to set up a password. Now, next thing I want to do immediately as I've logged into it, I want to disable the wireless interfaces. Well, in a rural situation, perhaps it's not as important, but just in case there are any neighbors or any passersby, I want to immediately disable wireless interfaces. The reason for doing this is that historically, router-OS devices do not have a passphrase set up on the wireless interfaces. So unless you got a newer device that does have a passphrase out of the factory, you should first disable the wireless interfaces until you set up a strong passphrase. The next thing I want to do is to update the HAPAC². And after the update, you can continue with the configuration. Now, I do not know what kind of setup you are going for, but I do know that you probably want to enable those wireless interfaces back on, so let's make them secure. Let's pick the latest authentication type we have available. On newer devices, this will be WPA3, of course, but in my case, it's WPA2 PSK. Then I want to set up the WPA2 pre-shared key. Let's make it something long and complex. And finally, we want to set the mode dynamic keys. So these are changes that I did to the default security profile. And now I can enable my wireless interfaces as they are using this default profile already. Wi-Fi 6 devices will have a little bit different wireless configuration, but this setup is all done. We can begin using it.